cobwebs off it, baby! Oh, let's hope I knock the cobwebs off the brakes. What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here on the mighty green gold wing of love. Hoo-hoo. Bumping the jams. Starts right up, no choke. Of course, it is like 85 degrees with 100% humidity right now, so really shouldn't need a choke. I don't know how the rest of America is freaking frozen right now, and Florida is, I've literally been outside for seconds and I'm sweating right now. Dude, this gold wing going over a brick road now just sounds like a bucket full of bolts. All these little plastic pieces freaking rattling all over the place. I mean, cut the thing some slack. This is a 31-year-old motorcycle. Woo! Boy! That still freaking gets it for being 31 years old and like 850 pounds. With me on it over 1,000. With me on this motorcycle, this is a half-ton affair. All right, got a couple cool things on the agenda today. I'm heading to the shop right now to grab the handlebars for Shaylee's Sportster build, the Green Goblin, and I'm going to drop them off at the Ride Factory for Shelby because he's actually got to cut a hole in the middle of them because we need to internally wire them. Kind of weird. We got these Builtwell bars. Builtwell is such a weird company sometimes. Stuff that they build, it doesn't make sense to me sometimes. Like these bars are slotted for internal wiring, but then there's no hole in the bottom to run the wires through. Like they just put the holes in the sides. You got to cut your own hole in the bottom. Hey, whatever. You know, those they were pretty affordable, so I'm not going to bitch too much. The day after Valentine's Day, fitting that I'm on my '89 Goldwing, my GL 1500, the day after Valentine's Day, because I bought this Goldwing for love. If you guys didn't know, the guy who sold me this Goldwing was selling it to finance his plane ticket to Thailand so he can pick himself up a shiny new Thai bride. And because of that, we have dubbed this green gold wing with the following titles: the Mail Order Glide, the Bangkok Bagger, also known as the Incredible Bulk. Yeah, just putting some miles on this thing because me and Shay are planning our first big trip with her on the Pacific Coast and me on the Gold Wing. And I'm showing this tank being slap freaking empty at 121 miles. Obviously, I hope it's not actually empty because I think that this thing should get over 200 miles. I did read online that these gas gauges on these early GL 1500s are not to be trusted and they show empty way before the bike is empty. So hopefully the low fuel light works. But otherwise, this is going to be a really short video. Not that I would ever do it because who would do such a thing like put exhaust on a Goldwing, but it actually sounds like it would sound pretty cool, this 6-cylinder engine with exhaust. I'm going to have to look up and see if I can find a sound clip on one that has open pipes on it. So I just realized something as I'm about to take the handlebars off this bike. Once I take the handlebars off this bike, that is where it's sitting until we get them back from Shelby. I guess I'm gonna have to be okay with this is where the Sportster lives now, and I would put a different set of handlebars on there and push it around like that. But these are 1 1/8. They're fat bars. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried to move a motorcycle that doesn't have handlebars on it, but it's not a great idea. It can be done, but not easily.
Looks so sad sitting there off the lift with no handlebars. Trust me though, we're reaching the end stages of the Green Goblin build. Things are getting ever closer, and I think she's probably only got a few episodes left before this thing's hitting the road.
All right, up here at the Ride Factory, dropping off the handlebars to my man Shelby over here, who is currently working on
an Aprilia. Yeah, it's off the Aprilia, and the Aprilia front fork. So, as I always say, it's more than just Harleys here. You got it all, man. And of course, my man Alex over here, we were hanging out with him in the live stream last night.
He was in the chat anyway. Good stuff. Shelby's gonna get those handlebars fixed up for us, and we're another step along the way to making the Green Goblin actually roadworthy. We got the new Fat Boy up here, a Milwaukee 8. We have an old Evo, an FXR, and a freaking Aprilia. All on the 3 lifts in here with a Triumph 3-cylinder on the lift back there. Like I said, it's everything around here. All right, bike swap. Got the crew together, Shay Lisi on the trusty Suzuki Boulevard S40, the Savage. Flip on the Softail Standard over there. Did you ever name that bike? And I'm jumping off the mail order glide and on to Road King Kong. Quite the upgrade, baby. Maybe not for storage area, but definitely for horsepower. Uh-oh. Yeah, we were just calling you trusty. You better start up. This is insane. It feels like it's July out right now. Of course, I'll be crying in July when it actually is July weather. Road King Kong, 140 horsepower, 131. Man, I freaking love this motorcycle. You know what, boys? I'm not going to complain. I'm out here in Florida where most of the country's freaking under a foot of snow. So out here riding with my buddy Flipna, my niece Shay Lisi. Life ain't bad, baby. Heading out to see Jared Weems right now. And you guys know Weems. You see him on the channel. He actually started his own YouTube channel. I think he told me today he's teaching his daughter, his little girl, he's teaching her how to change the oil on a Triumph Bonneville today.
You gotta go the other way, baby girl. So, yeah, put it on there. And then pull it towards me. There you go, just like that. All right, don't loosen it all the way up. Your fingers are dirty. Welcome to working on motorcycles.
We're gonna go up see him, check out his new chopper build, say hi to the whole family up there, and you know, let a little bit of Weems goodness rub off on this crew because we need it. You ever meet a person who just absolutely changes the entire trajectory of your life? I mean, I'm sure you have. You can think of a lot of people. I mean, if you're married, you've definitely met a person who's just absolutely changed where your life was headed in such a huge way. You know, there's been more people than Weems, but most recently, just meeting Jared Weems for the first time. You guys know I did that video just because I knew he was building that bike. He was building that 1952 Triumph from a David Mann painting. And I literally just hit him up on Instagram and I said, hey, can I come over and just like do a little video on this bike? I didn't even know the guy when I headed over there. I was worried he was going to be kind of an asshole. Turned out he wasn't, as you know. But I just headed over there. I didn't expect to do anything besides just take some cool video and get the backstory on this motorcycle for a cool video to bring you guys. And holy crap, man, that day ended up being such a pivotal point in what has been my life for the past several months. Meeting Jared Weems and hearing his story, hearing his passion for Triumphs and how he was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor and he was building this bike and he decided, because he was discharged from the military because of his brain tumor, and he decided instead of raffling this bike off and trying to make money or trying to sell it or do whatever, he decided to raffle it off and donate 100%, even the money that he used to build it, 100% of the money donated to the Forgotten Angels charity. And through Jared Weems, I met the people at Forgotten Angels, Dave and Cindy, which, if you don't know, is a charity that benefits children who have aged out of the foster care system. So 18-year-olds who get kicked out of group homes. I've gotten involved in that charity. I've been helping Jared sell raffle tickets for his 52 Triumph. We've toured the Forgotten Angels property multiple times at this point. And now we're actually participating in a freaking, this camp out, this crazy freaking camp out on the Forgotten Angels compound. They've got 13 acres. And now we're doing that with them as another fundraiser for Forgotten Angels, and that you guys can come to and camp out at. And that's where we're going to announce the winner, the 1952 David Mann Triumph. We're going to do it live there. And I'm just like, holy moly, one person, one man, Jared Weems, one man has just forever at this point changed my life for the better. Because let me tell you, we're kind of scumbags, and Jared Weems has set us on a path and allowed us to meet myself, Shay Lisi, and Flipna to all take our YouTube channels and use them and use our reach as a power to do good here in Tampa for these kids at Forgotten Angels. And it's something that we can feel good about. It's something I love doing. And I am literally, I will tell you, I am forever in Jared Weems' debt for that, for allowing me to have that, for giving me that sense of purpose to be like, hey, you can work for something bigger than yourself. And not that I was that selfish, like, oh, I'm only going to work for myself. To be totally honest with you, I didn't really think about it. not one to rest on his laurels. Jared's taking retirement super seriously, and he's getting his degree and currently building, actually almost done with it, another chopper, also a Triumph chopper, also based on a David Mann painting, because, you know, why stop at one? David Mann only ever painted 2 Triumphs. You might as well build them both. Before we get to Weems' house, I just want to leave on this note right now, and I said that, you know, I'm forever in debt to Jared Weems for allowing me to use this YouTube channel as a force of good to help people. But it wouldn't be that force without you guys watching it, without everybody who supports this channel and watches the channel, and all you guys who have bought raffle tickets because you've seen me talk about it. Like, it's not just me. I'm just the loudmouth. I'm just the mouth of the South over here, baby. I'm just the middleman. All you guys watching, you're the ones who are actually making this happen. So basically, we're all in debt to Jared. We're all in debt to Weems. Every single one of us. Y'all owe him, okay? Jared Weems, helping bad people do good things. You can always tell when you're in Jared's neighborhood because of his burnout speed bump. Always black lines on that, both from the Mustang and the Triumphs. I think we just passed Jared. He's about to freaking roll up on us. Talk about freaking timing. I guess the oil change is done.
All right, up here at the Weems garage, Weems Motor Co. garage. Of course, checking out this absolutely phenomenal freaking chopper. Of course, this is his beater bike, by the way. His budget build. Which it is a budget build. It's just freaking perfect looking.
That's what happens when you know what you're doing.
To my eye. I don't have any excuses, dude. I don't even want to talk about how much money I sunk into my XS 650. Okay, I stopped counting. Originally, okay, when I first started building it, I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna have a little whiteboard with all like the parts I bought so people know how much everything is. And then I started putting some really big numbers on there. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
It happens to me on every build. Like, once it comes to the point like where you start buying stainless steel hardware, and yeah, it's just.
Well, I ended up buying some really ridiculous stuff like twice that was expensive, and the first one didn't fit, and the second one I broke, and I was like, I'm done with the whiteboard. No more whiteboard. That's a bad idea. You know what? Don't ever count how many beers a man has, and don't ever count up how much you have in your chopper.
The inspection cover, a guy from England machined that just for me.
No way.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know about the...
yeah, I've got one of those for my Triumph build that'll happen one day.
Patent plate. This is a super rare Webco oil feed for per unit. The Webco Fend oil caps. Of course, the Cobb side draft intake.
Yeah, the last one. That's last freaking one, dude.
Yeah, and then this is a Webco racing oil tank.
So these are all vintage stuff, dude. This isn't like from Lowbrow Customs. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm gonna definitely build my Triumph chopper with a whole bunch of parts from Lowbrow Customs.
There's a cool part if you look over here.
This is
the weld where he cut it and put on the right part for it.
Yeah,
just for him.
Just for me.
This is all built with old school chopper stuff. Like everything on this bike is would have been like in a build that happened in the 60s. You could imagine that a chopper like this would have been built in the 60s, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a 50s bike, but someone would have gotten it and done all this.
Yeah.
So this is all just like insane, freaking super rare stuff that you're not going to find anywhere else. And you still managed to make it look just like the freaking painting, of course. That's the handlebars and those dual headlights that really do. You got the painting up here, right?
Yeah.
There it is, man. Hollywood Run. The first painting David Mann ever did, and the first Triumph he ever painted. One of 2 Triumphs he ever painted. That's his first painting, right?
It's that one in the middle.
Yeah, it's this one right here. Right. Definitely a little harder to build than the other one. Not quite as much detail in there, but I'd say you freaking nailed it, dude. Especially with the apes. With the apes and the Iron Cross sissy bar that you can barely make out that's in there.
When Easy Riders printed that in the magazine, they actually blurred that out.
The Iron Cross?
Yeah, and so if you go into the original painting, if you go to the David Mann collection, you can actually see it's like distinctly a Maltese cross. Wow,
man, that's freaking cool, dude. Jared, you're so cool, man. Like who does this? You psychopath.
A glutton for punishment.
That's exactly it. So when you build a bike like this, you are just really into self-flagellation. I'll tell you, I'm into self-flagellation as well, but I enjoy mine a little more. Flip. Dude, I think I'll be Flip's first time on a chopper.
Like, really?
Yeah, no, that's his first time ever riding a chopper.
Okay, and away I go. My first time on a chopper. I'm terrified. I bet I look really cool right now, but I am very afraid.
We're just saying that Flip's never ridden a chopper before. Jared was like, he's never ridden mine. I'm like, yeah, it's got a foot clutch. It's not exactly the best to learn on. And Flip pointed out that I have let other people ride it who've never ridden a foot clutch. And I'm like, yeah, they were drunk at the time. It really helps you not think about it too much. All right, let's see if I can even start it. I know, it's got a lot easier. My XS 650, you got to kick it 1,000 freaking times. All right, Jared Weems, freaking Hollywood Run. Oh my gosh, dude. The seat was not designed for me. Oh man, this is a cool freaking bike, dude. This is just such a classic 60s chopper, man. I mean, everything about this, everything about it, everything on it came straight from the 1960s. So, I mean, you're talking about all these parts. Like, this is not just a bike that's supposed to look like a 60s chopper. Since it had all the 1960s parts on it, it basically is a 1960s chopper. Built entirely from a painting, man. Jared is so cool, man. We're so lucky to have him in our lives. And this bike is so freaking awesome. I mean, you literally are just like on this thing going like, this is it, man. This is exactly the kind of bike somebody would have built back in the day, which is why it was in the David Mann painting. And of course, Jared being Jared. Oh, these freaking ape hangers though, man. I'm just too excited. I'm too cool. None of this audio is probably going to come out because it does have a magneto on it, and magnetos just play hell on freaking GoPro audio. They freaking have so much interference in them. Jared, you built a freaking amazing bike. This is his, quote unquote budget build. The bike that he just built from spare parts. This is the one that he built where he's going like, man, this is the bike I'm actually going to ride around a lot. He is putting it in a show. It's going to be in Chopper Town this weekend, but this is his rider, man. I don't know how far you're going to be riding. It's got about a half-a-gallon tank on it, but this is what he built, man. This is the bike that he built to freaking ride around, dude. I absolutely freaking love it.
The kill switch. See the skull?
Dude! Talk about the coolest freaking magneto kill switch ever. It's surprisingly really easy to ride. Yeah.
Not like you're trying to have me build your motorcycle.
I mean, I am trying to do that, Jared. Did I line it up okay? Oh no, I'll do it, Jared. No, I mean, since you're down there, it's like seems like more effort to get up and me to get down. Thanks, man. You accept Venmo for a tip? All right, man. Thanks again, dude. We'll see ya. Always a good time hanging out with my man Weems. I can't believe he let us all ride his chopper. What a dude. That thing was literally in about 1 million pieces just a few days ago. And he assembled that whole thing, put all together. I think he said he has something like 200 hours building that bike. So it was a budget build, but wasn't a budget for his time. 200 hours in that thing. He's had it together for like a few days. And he's just like, sure, guys, go ahead and ride it. We don't deserve Jared Weems, okay? Weems Motor Co. is too good for this earth. Dude, what do y'all think of Shay Lisi on that chopper? I think her video of her riding the chopper is going to be out way before my video comes out. So if you didn't see it, I will have a link to, I mean, hopefully that comes out. I don't see why it wouldn't. I'll have a link to her video of her riding the chopper. Very first time on a chopper. That's so cool. 25 years old. Hey, Flip's 36 years old, and it was his first time on a chopper too. You know, it was Flip's first time on a chopper too, and which sounds less cool because he's a dude and he's 36, but I don't think that makes it any less cool. It's still the first time you ever ride a chopper, even if you didn't build it. The first time you ever push a chopper down the street. That's pretty freaking special, man. The first chopper I ever rode was actually built by the one and only Erm Joyce, and it was actually a 52 as well. It was a 1952 Panhead. Big, long, freaking twisted fork front end, foot clutch, no front brake. And let me tell you, I remember that like it was freaking yesterday, riding that Panhead down the road with a freaking front wheel that was about 30 feet in front of me, it felt like. And that was cool. And that's something I never forgot. Good times at Jared Weems, and once again, your boy Shade Tree Surgeon got talked into going into the whitest place in Tampa. Ah, yes, Armature Works, where the emotional support animals run free. The fried chicken is made out of plant-based protein, and they decide what sauce to give you based on your astrological sign. I hate it here. When she's angry. I keep asking questions, and her face doesn't change, except to frown at me even more. So, yeah, no, that's what I'm getting. All right, this is getting dangerous, Flip. Isn't ramen ready yet?
I don't know, but I'm a halfway to Shade's Easy Town over here.
Pork broth, pork belly, bamboo, and egg. It's kind of hard to mess this up.
Man, it's very
delicious. So a couple different things. First things, cool Lamborghini. Second things is I'm somehow trying to transport this milkshake home in the Road King Kong's bag over here. So for those of you guys who don't know, this isn't actually my bike. This is on loan from Bert's Barracuda. They're super awesome people, and they've given me a 131 on loan to do whatever I please with, and with no strings attached. So apparently one of those things is transport open-topped milkshakes inside the bag. I don't know what the resale value on this thing is looking like, but it's going down by the second that I have it. Back at Rapstar Garage with the handlebars, with a new hole drilled in them. That way I can get these back on the bike and stop stressing out about having a motorcycle in the shop that I can't actually move around. The Green Goblin is once again mobile, under foot power anyway, not mobile under gas power or horsepower, but soon. And things seem darkest before the dawn. Trust me, the Green Goblin is very, very, very close to being on the road. So you might ask, what's next? Well, I'll tell you what's next. Since we were over at Weems' house messing around with the choppers, it made me feel kind of bad and decided that it's time to do something about this chopper. Alright, there's a few different things I gotta do on the chopper to make it roadworthy, if this thing can ever really be considered roadworthy. And it's essentially all to do with the brakes. And I need to find a way to mount some sort of air cleaner to it, because even though it looks really cool to run it without an air cleaner, I do want to be able to run an air cleaner on this because I want to ride this chopper more. I had a little problem getting it registered again, so I wasn't riding it, and I kind of not been working on it because it wasn't registered and it wasn't legal. And you know, there's nothing really legal about riding this on the road anyway, but I wanted it at least to be like if a cop got behind me and ran my tag, I wouldn't get pulled over. So now that I have that done, I'm a little more motivated to make the rest of the bike roadworthy. So let's get to it. First things first, I'm gonna have to take my brake arm off the back actually, because I've actually run out of adjustment for my rear drum brake. So I'm hitting the ground. I'm gonna have to cut and rethread that brake rod, unfortunately. Kind of a bummer, but that's the only way I'm gonna be able to get rear drum brakes, so better get to it. Actually, before I go ahead and cut my rod, I'm going to see if I can just move this back one tooth. And maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll give me enough adjustment in there to be able to make this work again, because right now it just barely even slows the bike down. And I don't know though, because sometimes moving these things even one tooth back can cause really a dramatic shift. So let's see if that's possible. Well, there'll only be one way to find out. I'm gonna have to ride the bike around and see if the rear brakes work. Taking the shortcut always works out for me usually, so I have no reason to believe that it won't work out again this time. When has taking a shortcut ever burned me in the past? All right, I've never actually run this Electron carburetor without this bird catcher front kind of grate on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off and see if there's any way to mount just like a traditional kind of K&N cone on it. Hey, would you look at that? Maybe this will work. Oh, all right, cool. Thought that was going to be a little harder. So now for the front brake, which I actually do have to do off the bike, only because this is an 8-over front end. That, coupled with the bunny ears, these have to be at a certain angle in order to get that straight enough to add fluid and bleed it. luckily, all it needed was a little bit of a bleed. The fluid really hasn't been in there for that long, so it's still fine. I don't feel like I need to flush it or anything like that, but it did have a few air bubbles in it.
Man, do you remember when Shade Tree Surgeon used to make cool videos? Oh, the chopper is running. It's leaking every single fluid that's available to leak. My phone battery's on like 1%. Let's go out for a ride. What's the worst that could happen? Uh-oh. Huh. Well, like I didn't blow that thing off. Like I said, every fluid available to it. There's only 2, so, but still, it's leaking 100% of the fluids that it has. I wonder if that works or not. I swear, every time I pull out onto a main road on this thing, I'm just like, dude, this motorcycle should not be allowed. Gotta knock the cobwebs off it, baby! Oh, let's hope I knock the cobwebs off the brakes. Whoa, Nelly. Wow, the art of riding a chopper is it's a motorcycle that doesn't go fast, it doesn't stop well, and it's extremely uncomfortable. Basically the opposite of everything a motorcycle should be. Come on, baby. There we go. Only masochists need apply. Not a motorcycle for the faint of heart, that's for sure. Every second on top of this suicide machine is just an absolute white knuckle experience that you don't know if it's gonna rattle apart, if it's gonna die, if a wheel's gonna fall off, if a piston's gonna come flying through the roof of the engine. I have no idea, and I absolutely love it. I can't believe I rode this stupid motorcycle across state lines. What a freaking terrible idea that was. Let's do it again. Don't know what that was all about, but we're still moving, baby. Let's do it. Come on, man. Can't be pulling out in front of choppers like that. I don't know if I can stop on this thing. Make way. All right, I think I got it running now. Well, as good as this old piece of crap 1970s machine is ever gonna run. I mean, and I built it, so, you know, pretty much everything on this bike is fairly suspect. Woo! Still just what a freaking blast this thing is to ride. Come on, baby. Well, now that I got this thing running and riding again, or at least like, at least kind of good, it still wants to die on me here a little bit. I'm not sure what all that is about. Oh, did it die on me completely? Or did we just drop a cylinder? Oh, back in business, baby. Might have a little fine tuning to do still. It wouldn't be a chopper if there wasn't a chance you weren't going to make it. That's what I tell people all the time. You know why you ride a chopper crazy far distances? Because if you could... oh, well, I'm about to eat my words. Come on, baby. There we go. As I was saying, the reason you ride a chopper far is because it's the excitement of not knowing if you're going to make it or not. You know, if you want to know that you're going to make it, if you want your trip somewhere to be perfectly safe, you can take a plane, or you can take a bus, or you can take a car. The whole reason you take a motorcycle is for the excitement of the unknown, is will this hunk of crap make it across where I'm trying to go? And where I'm trying to go right now is back to my shop. Will it make it there? I don't know, man. I might be pushing it. That's the fun thing about a chopper, dude. It's a roll of the dice every time you get on the thing. Ow! Well, I don't know. Maybe that's the culprit. The fact that my freaking spark plug wire is shocking the crap out of me. Come on, you can make it. We're so close. We live again. Well, it made it back. Barely. Obviously, I've still got some tuning to do, probably on the magneto. Need some new spark plug wires, that's for sure. New spark plugs probably wouldn't hurt either. So, thanks for about to do it for this episode. I just couldn't go over to Jared Weems' house, ride around his chopper, and not come back here and want to work on my chopper and make my chopper freaking roadworthy again. And maybe not completely roadworthy yet, but getting there. Definitely getting there. Till next time, y'all. Keep it weird.